This is Lawtina Life.
Dropping out. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do law school. Yeah. I'm so done.
Puro 956 right here.
I don't know who you think you are. You know,
I'm not gonna, it makes me aggressive. You want to see aggressive?
It makes me want to be.
Yeah,
give me that. Like literally, give me that. I'm joking, but I'm not.
Good. The fact that you don't like me as much as I do is weird.
That's odd.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Lawtina Live. This is Kenyatta.
What's up, y'all?
This is my friend from law school. Do you kind of want to introduce yourself, like where are you from, things like that?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? My name's Kenyatta Battle. Born and raised San Antonio, Texas. 2L at Thurgood Marshall.
We go to school together. Do we have any classes together?
Not this semester, but we were top 2, not 2, section 2.
Yeah, I've had so many section 2 people come through. Everybody by now, if you watch all the episodes, you know what sections are. So top 2, not 2.
Top 2,
always,
not 2. You know
always rep section 2.
Mm-hmm.
But you're from San Antonio, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about San Antonio. I love San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I went there for we went to the same undergrad, right? We both went to UTSA.
Yeah, we went to UTSA.
Yeah,
100%.
How'd you like UTSA?
I loved UTSA.
Me too.
Legit, like all of my friends, like they went to UTSA and now they like live in Houston because they're from Houston. So it was like the perfect thing. But
perfect thing for you, yeah.
You know, being like born and raised in San Antonio, you know, it's Hispanic serving like the institution UTSA. But like I'm very comfortable around Hispanic people.
Yeah.
And then so being at UTSA was just like, this is the same thing as like how I grew up. So it was amazing. You know, I think the best part was like everyone was chilling. It wasn't like really toxic in high school because you know how you know, sometimes you be in college and people be wilding a little bit.
It's too big for that, I feel, right? UTSA?
It's never too big to be a child.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it was fantastic. I had the best experience, got the best friends in the world because of it.
You want to shout them out?
Yeah.
Or all of them?
So my UTSA / C block, that was the nickname. So we lived in the Chisholm. Hall. Yeah, we lived in Bism. We called it Bism. We out there.
They were locked up.
It looked like a prison / psych ward.
It really. I could maybe find a photo and put it here because it really did look. Like a jail.
It actually looked like a prison, but it was lit, bro. Because we had the activity center. And legit, we would be in at 3-4 a.m. Playing video games, watching movies, breaking ping pong tables. They were breaking ping pong tables.
Them, not you.
Yeah, no. I can't. I don't want to be sued for this. But
they're like, it was you.
Yeah, no, like breaking stuff, having movie nights, and then I was an RA, a resident assistant.
So you ran it.
I mean,
when you were on shift,
I'm him. It's always on shift, but no. So it was amazing because a lot of times, you know, like we would just be up just doing dumb stuff. You know what I mean? And I think that was the thing that made it special. Like we still talk about like how like being there was one of the best times.
Yeah. Anytime I hang out with your friends, they're like always like reminiscing.
Yeah. I mean, and shout out C Block for life. Like that's the shout out we'll give. I ain't gotta go to specific names. Yeah. If you in C Block, you already know. You gang for life.
Bro, I love all of your friends. Well, like I don't know all your friends, but the ones that you've introduced me to, every single time I meet a new friend of yours, they're all dope. Like they're all cool. So that like shows that you're cool people.
I just want to say like I was extremely blessed to like walk into the friend group that I walked into at UTSA.
That's so rare.
It is, and like everyone's like so genuine and authentic and like for each other, and
that's so dope.
It's amazing. But I also think it's good to understand that like we went through our stuff too. Like we had smoke, we had some stuff that we had to overcome like as friends. Yeah. So I want to say like, if you have friends, like y'all also need to like
go through
talk to each other like through bad situations, like because I think a lot of times people just want everything to be like smooth sailing, and like I see my friend group and my friends like family, and if you know family like I know family, y'all gonna beef, y'all gonna get into it, but like you know, you shouldn't just like cut people off because y'all gonna get into it. It's like y'all should work through it unless somebody doing something like egregious.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that makes us so close, and that's why we so cool because we done been through like everything under the sun at this point.
Yeah, I love that. And my experience at UTSA was so different. So sophomore year is when COVID hit. So spring of sophomore year for me. So I like didn't even get to really finish like college for real.
Yeah.
But like on the contrary, you had a great group of friends. I feel like I come out of college with 2 like solid friends, like from UTSA, and I had a friend group going into college, but it was rough. Like I'm blessed in the same way that you are in the opposite. Like I'm blessed that I'm no longer their friend because it just wasn't a good situation. But I learned so much about friends and making friends and stuff. So yeah, I ended up with like 2 solid friends, Nat and Ash, and they're my girls. They're like my sisters. So, but also in San Antonio, it has such good food.
Oh, bro. So I love that you talked about this because I'm gonna make some people mad with this.
Oh hell. Don't make me mad.
Bro, I have not found no good tacos in Houston.
Either. No, okay. I feel that. I said that the last part. I respect to all the Houstonians. And y'all can put me on. But as of now, there is no good Mexican food in Houston. Like, when I'm talking about Mexican, I'm talking about Mexican. Not Tex-Mex, Mexican. Yeah. And I feel like San Antonio actually had, like, real, like, authentic Mexican food. And Anna was on my podcast. Like, your friend, well, Anna. Anna was here, and she was like, I'm talking about Mexican food where they don't know Spanish. They don't know English. I want to pull up and you don't know English when you take my order. And I was like, no, yeah, I feel that. So.
I think for the very first week I was in Houston, like it was home for me. And it could be the culture. Like it could be the culture, you know, like being around more black people because like the percentage of black people is so small in San Antonio. Yeah, it's like what 6-7%. It's something small. It's a lot of Latino. Yeah, community. But like I felt like at home, but I also think it's because I was exploring Houston too. Okay. Like I don't think it was just the culture. Like I think the more you outside, right, the more like you get comfortable with Houston. Because that was my big thing. Like coming from a new place and like I was adjusting with like mental health stuff. Like I was like I really want to make this feel comfortable for me so I can settle down mentally, right? And so I think it happened so quickly because, you know, going to concerts, going to sporting events, going to bars, going to clubs. You know, we went to Space. Yeah. So, like... That was crazy. I forgot about that. Yeah. No, like, all of that, like... And I was doing that first semester. I'm not going to lie. I was outside for the first 8 weeks until midterms. Like, every weekend, I went outside. So, it's Houston. Like, you can't not. Yeah. So, I think that will make you more comfortable. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, now I love Houston. Don't get me wrong. It took a cool year. But I feel like because where you were more like welcoming and accepting of just like everything Houston had to offer, I wasn't. Because like, okay, so the first week I got here, like I said, I got into a car accident. So many bad things kept happening that week that it like messed up my headspace for being in Houston. For a long time I was like, I'm doing school and I'm getting out. Like I'm done. I don't want to be here. Yeah. And then like you said, I was like, I made friends in law school and you had friends here, right? Yeah. I didn't. So I slowly made friends and then I would go out here and then now I'm like I love Houston. Yeah. Like in the streets. Yeah. And that's why I said as soon as I find a Mexican spot, it's a done deal. Like, it's up here after that. Yeah. But I love Houston. So this is my second time around being in law school. Okay. I actually failed out of the first law school I was in. So I had got into law school in like 2019, I think. And then, you know, COVID happened. And so I was planning to move to New York for law school. I was like really locked in on like being this like big shot lawyer. Right. You know, I wanted to like be at the Manhattan DA's office. Like, cool. Yeah, we're trying to make change. Let's go to the biggest place possible and like let's do something for real. Let's do something serious. Yeah. And COVID happened, you know, which was horrible. So I was still in San Antonio while everything was happening. And I was taking all my classes online. But at that school, C's did not get degrees. So I had a 2.0 and they were like, yeah, bro, you out of here. Yeah. Like, what is it's 2.0 that they curve you out? Their curve it's so funny because their curve was literally a 2.1. Oh. And like, I did not fail one class. I actually didn't get a D in one class, but they were like, it don't matter. Damn. Yeah, they were like, you cooked, bro. That's crazy. I was going at that time, like, you know, like I said, COVID was happening. Right. I had a lot of family issues going on. Like there was some child custody stuff going on with my nieces, and we were getting custody of my nieces. And so like I was, so I was trying to balance law school and taking care of my family. Right. You know what I mean? Which is like really hard. It's a lot, and I think no one tells you when you go to law school that like you can't take care of everyone. Like you really got to be locked in on taking care of yourself and all of this other stuff. You do got to be selfish. You got to, and it's not even really selfish because what you chasing is
for them anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's going to change your family's world anyway. So you just got to put yourself in law school first.
Right.
But man, my mental health deteriorated quickly, and I remember like it was yesterday. I was just driving home. It was like close to Halloween. I had just dropped my friend off, and I just like for the first time in my life I had like some suicidal ideations. Like I had never had that before. It was new, so I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
So my whole mentality was like, I can just motivate myself out of this, because that's what I always did. You know, like we gonna pick ourselves up. We good. We straight. You know what I mean? This ain't nothing. We locked in. And so I had that, and I pulled over, and I was like, I don't really know what that was, and I drove home, and it was like the longest drive home I've ever had.
Yeah.
And so I was like just I didn't tell nobody. My friends was actually at my place, so we were having a big Halloween thing, and I didn't tell anybody because I was like, that might have been a one-off. I don't even know what just happened.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, because I don't know about anxiety, really. Didn't know about like none of that.
And at this time, how old were you?
I think that might have been like 25. I think that frontal lobe was growing at that point. You know what I mean? It was like
a whole lot going on up there.
Yeah, it was like, hey, bro, we about to hit you with something like you ain't never experienced before. Yeah.
We're growing up.
Yeah, nah, for real. And it was like, I'm not joking.
Yeah. I'm not joking.
I'm not joking. You cooked. Give me that. Give me that. Like, because I'm about to take your whole mental with you right now.
Me and Kenyatta only talking TikTok reference.
Yeah, no cap. So, yeah. So that happened, and then like I said, I really couldn't drive like after that, like on highways,
right?
You know, and so I was just like going through it, but I was still like pushing through law school. I was still trying to take care of my family, yada yada yada. And me being the bullheaded person I am, I decided to move to New York in the summer. Like I had finished the semester up, and you know I was like I thought I did well in like my classes. You know, I was like, ain't no way I'm about to curve out. Like I was hooping in Civ Pro, so like I'm straight. Right. You know, and I had got an internship with one of the like a DA's office out there, and like a like Nassau County Police or whatever. Okay. Which was a great experience, by the way, because they were going through, since it was like COVID and like it was all of the marches and all of that stuff happened. Right. Like they were going through a bunch of legislative change. Wow. So it was really good to see like both sides of it, because like the police officers were like legit, like fighting for their life. Literally? Yes, because the lawyers and police officers, they were so upset about like progressive legislation, and I'm like, bro, this is a dub, like you know. But they got rid of the cash bail.
What is that?
So you know, when somebody goes to jail, right? They usually have to like either get a bail bondsman or just pay some bail to be released.
Pay money to get out.
Yeah. They got rid of that for low level offenses, like non-violent, like felony offenses. Oh, okay. Because like jails are overpopulated. So if somebody like if you committed some crime, you go through arraignment. And like you get all of your stuff, and then you get a court date, and then you just go back home. So the legislation was that they can just get out without having to pay bail. Yes. Okay. Yes. I thought it was saying that they have to stay there, and I was like, no. Yeah, sorry. No, okay. My fault. You're fine. Yeah, that's my bad. But that makes sense. By the way, that's something Texas has been talking about too, but people don't like it because they feel like you putting people back on the streets, and so the police officers was in their feelings. You know, they were like, if I just unlock somebody up and they just right back out the same day, and they gonna skip court, yada yada yada. But I'm going off on a tangent, right? But it was great for all of that, but like my mental health kept getting worse. Like it kept getting bad, and then I had like my mom had got a cancer scare, you know, and then which she good. She didn't have cancer, but it was just at the time we thought it was a real possibility. And then I found out I fell out of law school. And then after that, my internship had finished. Like both of my internships had finished. Excuse me. And yeah, after that, I was kind of like done. Like I remember being inside my house in my room, and like my mental health just crashed, bro. Like it straight crashed. Like I was just in my place, and like I said, since the suicidal ideations felt controlled and like in specific places, it's really just anxiety too. Yeah. But once it felt like it hit, like it came home with me. You know what I mean? Once it came home with me, I was like, yeah, I'm cooked. Like I'm not sorry. Let me be serious.
No, you don't talk however you want. It's your story.
I was like, yeah, this is it. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing more I can do in this moment, right? And so that's when I went back to San Antonio. I went back to San Antonio and gonna do the abridged version. You know, I was so happy to be back. You know, I remember my homeboy picked me up from the airport, and like it felt like I was back where I needed to be at. I feel like it's the best way to say it. And it was amazing. It was beautiful. Like I was like, damn, I really, because you met my friends,
right?
And I was like, I missed y'all, because I was in New York, and I'm like, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends, but I really, really, really wanted to like have this dream. Like I really wanted to chase this dream, and I thought it was worth, you know, moving away from everything, away from everybody. Like I wanted this so badly. But being back home and things being simple, it was nice. You know, it was nice to be around everything familiar, right? So, crash course, I wasn't in law school, and I'm like, I want to go back, right? Like, this is my dream. Like, I want to change the world. Like, that's the whole reason I want to become a lawyer. Like, I want to make the world a better place. And so, I'm like, I can't guarantee I'm going to get back in law school this year, right? So, actually, the friend who picked me up from the airport, he had gave me some football advice, because he used to play football, and he was on the offensive line, and he was like, when you on the O line, he was like, you worry about the D line first, and then after you block the D line, you go to the linebackers, and then the secondary, right? And so he was like, right now, just focus on the D line. And what he was saying was,
I like that.
Metaphorically, was like, focus on what's in front of you. And you do want to go back to law school. That ain't right now. Right now is your mental health. Right now is getting your mind back to a right place. You're the D-line right now. I have to block them. I have to make sure, you know what I mean, that doesn't get any worse. And so I locked in. I started working out. I started meditating, going to therapy. It's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I really got my mental health under control. And then once I got my mental health under control, then I got into law school. I got into Thurgood. You know what I mean? You are. Yeah, and now we here. And so just to like cap it off with this mental health thing, when I got to Thurgood, I was still like having like some mental health stuff. Like I was in a way better place. I was good, which is why I said I was like, I want to be outside, because I wanted to get comfortable. Like mentally, I had to get comfortable with the city. And so I stayed on my routine of taking care of myself. I stayed on my routine of like one step at a time. You know what I mean? Having my D-line first. Taking care of myself. Like, law school isn't more important than my mental health, right? And I think that was the thing that changed me when I got back to San Antonio. Like, I've accepted that law school and being a lawyer is a job, right? And I think sometimes like we get hyper fixated on this idea that being a lawyer is our identity, you know, like. But when I was in San Antonio, I realized like a big part of my identity, besides like my personality, being goofy, having fun, yada yada yada, my identity is like taking care of my family, you know, being a brother, being a son, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel
that is like staying grounded and not like comparing yourself, not getting lost into like social media, getting lost into all of this other stuff. It makes things so much better. So when I came back, I was so locked in on my routine and on my regiment. Like when I got to law school wasn't hard for me. Like, I mean, look, let me say this. Law school is stressful.
And it's law school.
And I did have the experience of being a 1L already. I had already went through my like 1L pains of like crying every day and fighting for my life.
That
and like, I went through that already. Right. But I also think the mentality of like, yo, this is just school, y'all. Like this is legit. Just like, why am I gonna let this like ruin my mental? Like at the end of the day, and I would talk to my therapist about this all the time. Like at the end of the day, bro, just pass, right? Like
just go to school. Do your work. Do your homework. Study. You know.
Because at some point, if you do everything you're supposed to, you're gonna pass law school. Like you know, like even though I had that like 2.0 that second semester,
you still passed though.
But I didn't actually. I wasn't studying.
Oh, okay.
Like, because my mental was so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't.
You couldn't lock in.
Yeah, and then I was on Zoom. So I was...
that was a whole different beast.
Bro, I'd be at home playing Spider-Man while I was in class. Because it was all Zoom classes.
Right.
And I couldn't focus. Like, the first semester I locked in. But once my mental health went bad, I was like, I can't do this. So, like, the whole point of, like, just take care of yourself. Law school like, because you're not gonna neglect law school, right? You know, for the most part,
it's a jealous mistress for a reason.
For 100%. So like, you won't really fell out either, you know. So like, and that was the thing I want to talk about. Like, since I've experienced falling out, since I've like gone through that, since I've gone through the mental health stuff, like, I understand, like, if you don't put all of this pressure on yourself to like get amazing grades, like, even if you want to do corporate law, if you just do your routine, right? You know, whatever your routine is. Mine was working out, meditating. I fell off now, but you know, we're gonna get back in these streets, right? But working out, meditating, and watching anime, that was my routine. And then I would study all week, so on the weekend I can be outside. And I'm not finna tell you I got the best grades. I don't. I can tell you I'm in law school, and I can tell you I'm gonna be a lawyer. That's all that matters.
Like, I went through it. Okay, so to be transparent, right? I struggle with mental health a lot, and I think people don't realize, like, when we say that we struggle with mental health, somebody who maybe is like diagnosed with something, but no matter what it is, it's an everyday thing. Yeah, 100%, no question. Maybe even like a every moment thing, kind of like getting through a moment. You know, it gets that bad sometimes, and so for me, so for me, like. Kind of similar to you, like, I left Corpus, right? And I mean, I left Corpus to go to UTSA, but I feel like that was like, college is so different than law school. It's so true. Like, you had orientation, you have like, you're kind of forced to make friends almost. Yeah, almost, no question. But so for law school, it was like a culture shock, you know. Like, I was in a huge city, and then law school is like, you hit the ground running. Like, the first day is like, okay, maybe like get your syllabus, you know, like. But other than that, after the first day, like, you need to read and you need to learn how to be a law student almost immediately. Yeah. And so, like, I went through it, you know, like, I was struggling. So for me, I have this weird thing, and I struggle to eat sometimes, and it's like intertwined with a whole bunch of different mental health issues and trauma, but I struggle to eat. And I remember, it's so crazy to me, I remember first semester, I was sitting in my room, and I had made something for lunch or dinner, and I just couldn't eat it. Like, I have the memory of like putting it here in my face and just being like, I can't do it. Like, I just can't eat it right now. And it's so weird. It's so weird. I feel like I got touched by an angel. Like, I was blessed. But my mom surprised me. I was literally struggling to eat, and she surprised me, and she was at my door. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I hadn't seen her in months, you know. Like, I hadn't seen my family in months. So she walked in, and then she was like, let's go eat, you know, like, let's go have dinner. And it's, for me, like, my anxiety and my like depression comes out in weird places, and some places is like food. And so, like, for the whole first semester, I remember just struggling to eat. And that, you know, that's real, you know, like, that's no question. Our mental health comes out in different ways. It does 100%. And now, so the reason I guess it's crazy for me now, it's like, I haven't thought about that in so long, because I've been so focused on getting myself right, and kind of like you, like, I started working out and like putting myself first, and I didn't even think about it, you know. I ate food today, and I was like, not even, that's crazy, you know. And
it's, I think the best part is that it's amazing seeing like what you went through, where you came from, right? And like, not saying that, like, I still deal with anxiety and depression. I'm still in therapy right now. Thing. Yeah, like you said, and like, and I like the it's a every moment thing that you said too,
it really is,
because legit, like, you know, but like, that moment, like, now you have less of those moments probably, and I think that's the beauty in it, is because you get to this place where it's like, I went through this like every day, and like I was like, it was compulsive all day, exactly, and you couldn't like break your mind away from it. And so to be able to like release that and get to a better place, it shows how resilient you are, right? You know what I mean? It shows how amazing you are. And it was so funny, because my therapist, before I was back in law school, I used to just like be like, man, I just really want to be successful. And he's like, you successful right now, right? You know what I mean? Because overcoming that is harder than anything we gonna go through in law school.
You know, if you can, how do I put this? Like, depression, it literally kills people. Yes, like, quite 100%. Like, it literally kills people, and it's so serious, and it's so quiet and internal, that like you can only fight that by yourself.
Yeah.
And like law school, right? You have a community. We have friends. I mean, we're friends. You know, I have people I can lean on. I have people I can go hang out with, study with, like get through a fact pattern with. Depression is just me.
Yeah.
Just me versus me, and the little like the
voice in your head.
Right, a little voice in my head. Me and my family call it crazy monkeys.
I like that
because they're just like swinging around everywhere. Saying,
I really like that. Stuff. Yeah. I might steal that.
Yeah, take it.
That's
yeah,
really nice.
And so sometimes I'll be like freaking out or like hyperfixating on something, and my mom's like, "It's a crazy monkey. Like, don't worry about it." You know. Yeah. But yeah. So now, like mental health in law school, kind of to like marry law and life, right? Like, for me, it was a lot more depression than it was anxiety. I mean, it was both, but it was a lot more depression. So I remember being more second semester. First semester, I was like in fight or fight mode. Like we gotta, because the curve is over our head. Yeah. 1 year.
And doing orientation, bro, they scared the shit out of you.
I hate that though. Yeah. To anybody coming into law school right now or considering going to law school, I'm just gonna tell you now that they do it. Don't let it freak you out. But they tell you to like look to your left, look to your right. One of those people, one of those three people is not going to make it to 2 all year. And I was just like, okay, why would you say that? First of all, you know, like that's so ugly. Like immediately that's putting such a serious and like scary connotation over law school when like on the cool, it really is nothing like that. Like, I don't know. But so for me, like I remember there being days where I'd take a mental health day, but it wasn't like a acute mental health day to like go and shop and like have ice cream and like get my nails done. No, it was like I can't get out of bed. Like, I can't shower. I can't get out of bed. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Like I don't want to be here anymore. Like I remember being like, I just want to be with my mom. Like I just want to go with my mom. I want to go with my dad. Like, but like you said, like getting through those moments and then also still getting through law school is like, I mean, I feel like it deserves a trophy on its own. No question. And I will say the thing I love that they said, and a lot of lawyers doing orientations, a lot of professors is like, you made it this far, you know, so you are more than capable of finishing. The hardest part is getting in. Yeah, it is. Nobody talks about how hard it is. There's no question, bro. The LSAT, the essays, the money. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So underrated because no one actually mentions like, oh, you got to pay all of this. Yeah. So for everything. And I remember. Like I the season of me trying to get into law school, I was a nanny and I was working like 90 hours trying to like study for the I was like a nanny and I was working for a firm. I was like working like 90 hours a week, studying for the LSAT and then having to pay for everything. It was like a cool $1,000, $2,000 to like just apply. It's a lot, which is I ain't gonna cap. I limited my schools to like 3. Yeah, I picked 3 because I couldn't afford more than that. It was too much. And I did find some fee waivers, which is why like if you have a chance, like you in undergrad right now and they do like my school did a law school like convention type of thing. Okay, period. Like a little forum where a bunch of law schools came. I didn't at UTSA. Yeah, UTSA. We both went to UTSA. Yeah, my fault. Probably because I was in COVID. Yeah, I think it's because you were in COVID. Yeah. So they had a like I think it's like a seminar, but it was really more so like. You know, it was a fair. It was a law school fair. There we go. And so, I remember something like that. And so they were there. All of the schools were there. They were telling you their LSAT score, their GPA requirements, so on and so forth. But then you would be like, some of them will be real enough and be like, oh yeah, here's fee waivers. And then some of them you'd be like, hey yo, I know y'all doing fee waivers. Let me get one. Give me that. Like literally, give me that. I'm joking, but I'm not. Like, give me a fee waiver because that like applications are insane. But yes, so they were doing that, and so that's what helped me out a lot is because I got those application fee waivers. Because since I've attended another law school, I hated those professors. Like, not hated them like personally. Yeah, you just didn't enjoy it. I didn't mesh with their teaching style, and that could have been because of Zoom. And I give the grace to that. Besides my torts professor, because he was a beast, bro. He was so good. He loved torts. Yeah, and he was such a great teacher, and we had good dialogue. But with Thurgood, I would say the main difference that I spotted is the professors seemed like they care, and I got that from orientation. I was like, it seems like they really want you to succeed. Now, I'm not saying, you know, professors always have issues, teachers always have issues. There's always problems with styles and like meshing with them and adapting to them and adjusting to them.
But overall, when I talk to these professors, like, because I go to a lot of office hours, especially first 1L year, I was like living
Always
in
in
office.
there. Yeah.
One of those office hours. And, you know, when you go in and you like talk about the law and you really trying to like get an understanding, like they just respect it so much that they're doing everything in their power to help you get that understanding. Like
identity and how like being a lawyer isn't just our whole identity. And I feel like no one has ever articulated that or said that in a way that it made me understand. But like that's so real, because for me, like, I mean, I've been in school my whole life. I didn't take a break after college. I just went straight through, and my whole identity surrounds around school. You know, anytime someone asks me about my life, it's never like, oh, how's because I like music, you know, I like to make music. How's music going? How's what else do I like? I love being a big sister. I love my brother. No one asks me about, you know, like just other parts of my identity, and that no shade to them, but it's just something that I didn't realize until now that like I do that. Being a lawyer is my job, but I'm a person.
Yes,
know?
exactly.
You know, I'm a musician. I'm a big sister. I'm a daughter. I'm a podcaster now, I guess.
Yeah, no, you in these streets. Ain't no, I guess.
Yeah.
That's legit. You here.
Yeah, so.
And you hoping too. You're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, so I appreciate that you said that. Hopefully somebody can resonate with that, because I feel like that's so big. That's such a big deal. But I think it's like, I'm really scared for graduation because I'm not going to be a student anymore. And that's going to be such a huge part of my identity that's not me anymore. And I'm like, you know.
Do you mind if I challenge like your thinking on that a little bit? Okay. So I'm 30. Well, I'm 29. I'm about to be 30. So in my mind, I'm already 30.
Right.
And I've been in school since like my whole life at this point. Like I had some gap years, but I went to community college first.
Right.
So like, since I took such an untraditional route, like school has been my entire life,
right?
You know, for so long. And similar to you, everyone's like, "How's school going?"
Right. That's the only thing they ask me about.
Yeah. At this point, it's like, "How's school going?" And I always see you outside. Like that's literally the only two comments that I get from people. Yeah, but the thing that I want to challenge is, one, you've worked your entire life for that moment, right?
Right.
And so like.
For graduation, you mean?
Yes, okay. For graduate, like you worked your entire life for that moment to graduate, to be in that place, to be a lawyer.
Right.
And so I think the way of overcoming that fear is understanding that this is really the end of a journey.
Yeah, I think that's the scary part. Yeah.
But that's what makes it so beautiful, right? Because what comes next is the real thing. Like now we're in the real world, right?
Right.
And I think the things that you are afraid of are just things that's probably not going to happen, truthfully.
Okay.
Because
like what do you mean?
Like, okay, so we probably afraid of like finding a job, or we're probably afraid of how we're gonna
not finding a job.
or not finding a job, or we're probably afraid of taking the bar, or we're probably afraid of how we're gonna perform as litigators,
right?
Or letting our clients down, or so. The truth is, we're gonna pass the bar. The truth is, we're going to find a job.
Right.
Like, in all of these situations, we are going to do everything that we are afraid of doing.
Right.
And if you like, well, how do I know that? Well, you already done everything you said you wanted to do before. Yeah. You know, so your resume and your history already lines up, especially yours.
Oh, thanks.
By the way, like, you, like, I know we didn't get into mock trial, but, like, you went in and you killed.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you have to understand that you already in this position and you've already accomplished things. So the next thing, whatever you have in your mind that you want to do, you already gonna do it. Because the history of your life, like if you look at your life like it was a book, you've done everything. Yeah. You may have struggled. I feel you know, you may have had some tough times. And so that's why when you think about like what's next, because I'm so like I can't wait to be done with law school at this point. And I'm so excited about what comes next. Because I've waited so long for this. And like, again, I want to be the best litigator ever. Like I want to line up with Julie across from me and we just going blow for blow. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm excited about the idea of that. Every day. So like I hope you stay in Houston because I'm gonna be out here in these streets.
You're gonna be a prosecutor.
And
we'll toe to toe.
Exactly. I'm like, yo, this was you know, David versus Goliath type stuff. Like this was like that. Bro, this was the story of this was like, you know, this was the biggest, this Batman versus Superman, this is, you know, Thanos versus the Avengers or something. Like this is literally the biggest like thing, and it's so amazing. And then on top of that, like we get to change people's lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's
yeah, that's true.
like that's the thing that I'm excited every day.
Help people
about it. Yeah, because I think the world is crazy because we're in this place in life where we want to make the world a better place. Like you told me, like your mission. You told me why you want to do everything, and so I think it's really amazing that, or I think the idea is like you shouldn't be afraid of that because you about to do it.
Right. Oh, thanks.
You know what I mean? You about to do it. There's no question.
I feel like I'm gonna watch this episode over again and over again and over again when I need it. You know, you've been such a. Honestly, you should start a podcast. Like I feel like I like listening to you talk earlier, like just about everything. I was just like, you know what I mean? You're great at it. But I really appreciate that because
I just talk a lot.
Nah, but it's not even that. It's, you know, some people have a gift of communicating, and I feel like I told you that from the beginning that you're like naturally good at this. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And I'm just excited, but thank you so much. But I guess we'll end it there.
Okay.
I appreciate you coming on for. I've had such a great time.
Yeah, I mean, thank you.
Real conversation, you know, that, like real stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Lawtina Live. Thank you, Kenyatta. You want to plug your socials in? I can add it in there if you want.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, yeah. I'll add his Instagram in and you guys can follow him and connect with him. Kenyatta's really cool to just chop it up with, you know, talk with, like about law school, about anything really, but as y'all saw. But yeah, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next week for the next episode.